Hi, this is Zach Meir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 14th of August. Starting off with the S&P, and here you can see that we're in that rising trend channel from April. We had the bear trap hard in reversal and up and away since then. We've recently had a gap close buy signal, so the gap down at the end of July closed very early in August, and we've progressed since then. Looking for 6,600 by the end of next month, or we were. Obviously, the way things are going, could actually be rather sooner than that. And also keen to see whether the record high level that we had, 64.27, comes in as new support. So this stage, while we're above that, looking for 6,600 quite quickly. The Nasdaq is next, and here the position similarly juicy in the sense that we're just actually about to head up to the top of that channel. In fact, you could argue that we actually already hit it, but 24,000 is what we were looking for. I think the high of the day yesterday, just below that, 30 points below that. So looking for a little nudge to the upside. If we do get that, then we're looking for this now red resistance line projection as the next target, and that is heading towards 25,300. Looking for that hopefully by the end of next month or even sooner. Obviously, hopefully it would be sooner than that. And same as the S&P, looking for the old peak there, 23,000, basically 600 to come in as new support, old resistance becoming new support on this market. If there is a rug pull, then probably not looking for anything lower now than 23,000 or so. Worst case would be down to the 50-day line, 22,700. Last time we were below that was at the end of April, so this has been an almighty run to the upside. Moving along to the stocks, and starting off with a decent and interesting situation, Bitmine, and obviously a company rather heavily geared to the situation at Ethereum. Here we can see the top of the channel there at $81, and we're looking for that hopefully by the end of this month. And if we can get that, then obviously, then hopefully there'll be further moves up to the record levels through $100 over the course of the period between now and the end of September. We do break down, hoping that there's no end of day close back below $54, which is the floor of the gap there. Worst case is we've got to test the floor of the channel from the end of June and the 50-day line there at $34. But ideally, now we stay at least on the right side of the $50 area intraday. Next on the list is Bitmining, and here we've had rather healthy looking unfilled gap to the upside, a very strong one. We've got the shares back above that old gap top there, around $3.70, and above that, looking for the next level up, basically the $4.60 zone, which was resistance on the way down back last month. Other points to note are the way the RSI is pushed back above 50 after about a month below it, and the way that that notional rising trend channel is heading for £6.50, which I suppose at this point would be the best case scenario target for the end of next month. Editas is next, and here another unfilled gap to the upside off the low above the 200-day moving average as well. Support coming in at the 50-day line, $2.45, and above that looking for $4.60 plus by the end of next month, hopefully much sooner than that, which would take the shares back to where they were in terms of support at the beginning of July last year. Worst case here is we've got to test the floor of the channel, $2.25, before we head back up again. Obviously, there has been a rug pulled from the 2 July peaks, and there is a lot of resistance in theory around that $3.30 mark post November. A situation which I think we've looked at before, Generation Bio, another gap off the lows here, pretty impressive in the sense that we gapped down and then gapped up, so it's a bear trap island reversal, normally one of the strongest signals around. Neckline resistance there at $6, above that looking for $9 by the end of next month, which would take us through the 200-day line there around $7.70, so a nice setup there. On to Momentous, and here it's another setup, almost the same type of thing, gapping up in this case through the 50-day line and also closing right on, or just around, let's say, that old late June peak, the late June peak there at $1.90, and the close at $1.91. So that is a win for the bulls. above 190 on an end of day close basis, then looking for the top of the channel there as high as $3.30 by the end of next month. Worst case at the moment is we've got to test the support of yesterday, $1.50, but hopefully that would be the worst that we see, and we won't have to have a test of support towards the price channel floor, $1.35. But interesting developments there. Going on to mobile health, and here it's a broadening triangle base. We've managed to get through the 50-day line at $1.12, and also the old July resistance there, which was at $1.19, above 119, looking for 170 by the end of next month. Let's see if we get our result there. Ovid is next, and here a rising trend channel base. We managed to break last month's resistance, which was around that was at $73. Above that, on an end of day close basis, looking for the top of the channel there, as high as $1.30 by the end of next month. So 73 cents rather, the level there, and above that, looking for $1.30 plus by the end of next month. Nice sort of U-shaped turnaround there, and also support points, multiple support points above a rising 50-day line, which tends to be a leading indicator on the upside. We also had a very strong price action yesterday, opening and being near the low of the day and closing at the high. The other point to note is that we've had not only a RSI 50 rebound back in the middle of last month, we've had extended one. In fact, you could argue we've had three since the RSI 50 rebound that we had in the middle of July. So this looks very strong indeed. Moving on to RumbleOn, and here we've broken recent neckline resistance. That's been basically through the $2.90 level. Above that, on an end of day close basis, looking not only for the 200-day moving average, $3.70 or so, but also as high as $5 by the end of next month. Unfilled gap to the upside through a rising 50-day line near the low is a strong setup, and obviously we're already feeling the benefits of that at the moment. ReShape is next on the list, and here you can see that we've got the shares trying to rebound within a broadening triangle base. The positives here are the bear trap rebound, and also the way that we've closed that gap, top of that gap there, $2.57. Above that, looking for up to $5.30 at the top of that broadening triangle from back in June. Ideally, we stay above the 50-day line there, $2.76, whatever happens, and that ties in with that previous peak that we had just a week or so ago. On to the last two. The first one is Sonnet, and here, obviously, quite a rough ride, a rocky ride, but looks like we're back in business. RSI back above neutral 50. We've had a decent end of day close above the rising 50-day line, which is near the low, and also managed to rebound without having to touch the 200-day line at $2.20. The overall message now is that while we're above the early resistance of this week, around $3.58, we are looking for at least a partial test of the old peak there towards $18. At the moment, looking for $6 to $7, which is sort of like the halfway point in terms of the recent pullback that we have had. Finishing off with Webloon, and here you can see that we've gapped up spectacularly here. We've gone through all the recent resistance, so the main one there around $14.70. Above that, still looking for up to $22 by the end of this month at an October 2024 resistance line projection. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.